November 21st, Thursday morning, 1 week before Thanksgiving. I got a call last night. I went by this house. There was a guy at a boiler and a water heater on a power venter. The boiler wouldn't kick in. The boiler would go through a cycle, but it wouldn't fire up the power venter. Now, if the power venter don't run, it's not going to pull the vacuum switch in and, you know, send the power back down to fire the boiler up gas valve wise. So he had a water heater hooked up to it. I turned the water heater up, it fired the boiler right up. So I know it was the heat sequencer in there that's bad. So I'm going in now to switch it out. I'm able to get him some heat by turning the hot water heater up to fire the power venter. So see if I can get some footage on that for you guys. How you doing, guys? Gas-fired water heater with a power venter. What's happening with this thing is when the boiler calls, it's not kicking the power venter on. But when you turn the water heater on, the power venter will kick on, and then this boiler will run. So there's a little heat sequencer inside that control. That's bad. It sticks, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, so I have to change it. Then this heat will work. I can't even get in there to do it. There it is in there. I'll just shut the power off to it. That's it right there. The power venter. There's the burner. Just a heat sequencer is all it is. And that is a model 92 control. Runs the power venter. Well, power venter, you just change the control for gas or oil or water heaters. See, it's working good now. Like I said, what will happen with this is it won't work on a heat cycle. But when you call for hot water, it sends power up, turns the burner on, pulls the vacuum switch in, and then kicks this. That's that one. That vacuum switch on the bottom of the gas valve will keep the power venter on as it calls for hot water. Opens that vacuum switch, that pressure switch actually, and sends power up to the power venter to run on the hot water cycle. On the boiler cycle, it goes through that heat sequencer. Has its own valve calls. It sends power, you know, down the TT to run this setup up through the power venter through the vacuum switch. Vacuum switch engages, sends power back to TT to fire the boiler. So if that heat sequencer don't pull in, that vacuum, that power venter don't run, the boiler's not going to run. Pretty simple. They'll be periodic, like they'll work sometimes, they won't work sometimes. Could be a nuisance. Well, that's what it is, a little heat sequencer. Alright guys, I'm going to try to go over this, what's happening there with that job and the heat sequencer and the operation of the power venter. Okay, this is the power venter motor here. This is the control. T1, T2, and T3 is low voltage. L is L1, L2 is neutral, and M is power venter motor. Okay, and T1 and T2 is the heat sequencer. T3 is the vacuum switch. Okay, that's basically how that works. Down below here, this is a 92 control, which operates combination gas boiler and water heater. Down here, this is the water heater with the pressure switch. As the water heater calls, the gas valve energizes this pressure switch, sends gas to the water heater. There's a small delay, and it's L1 comes down to that pressure switch, and then it feeds direct power back up to M, which is the burner motor, which is, you already got the neutral, so it fires that burner motor up. So that's why when I ran the water heater, it fired the boiler up, because the vacuum switch pulled in. Does that make sense? Down over here you got a thermocouple, which goes to 2 rollout switches on the draft hood as a safety for this part, which is the water heater part. That's the safety that would kick the thermocouple out. If these rollout switches, manual reset, kicks the thermocouples out, saves that that water heater will shut off if that power venter don't work. If you get a power failure and that motor don't work, you have to reset these manual reset rollout switches. So basically what happened is I got red coming down the thermostat, which is red. White would energize the zone valve. I had zone valves there. And then, you know, as you would energize the zone valves, it would feed white to T1. T2 is common. Once that's energized, okay, T3 is the vacuum switch, the other end of the vacuum switch, which comes back as an end switch there, which comes back and feeds through the limit to the gas valve. Everything goes through the limit on a boiler. As the limit, you know, you come up to limit, it shuts the gas valve off, the power venter continue to run. That's it. So G and Y is cooling, G would be fan for furnace. But this is strictly a boiler, so we don't have the Y and G. Just red and white on heat. But that's it. Hope that makes sense to you guys. And yeah, so that's how the heat sequencer works. You can see right here, you know, it's got direct power for the water heater directly to the motor. Boom. Alright guys, thanks for watching.